Hello. Hi. Welcome to Two Tangled Skeins. We are June 14th, 2014. This is episode 68. I'm Sue, also known as Crafty Knitter 7. I'd like to welcome returning viewers and welcome to all the new viewers who, if you're watching, have joined the group in the past little while.
I am Lynn, also known as Tall Baby. Still not Kari, sorry. Somebody PM'd me and said, "Are you sure you're not Kari?" Positive, pretty sure. You can find us on Ravelry in our group Two Tangled Skeins, or on YouTube,
the number
Two Tangled Skeins. I'm writing the wrong way for you guys.
Yeah. And that's the only place we are. And we have a Twitter feed, but it only says when the episodes are live, so.
Nobody goes there. Who uses Twitter? I actually got a Twitter account and I haven't used it once.
I have a Twitter account just to follow my kids, and no.
I should check to see if my kids have Twitter accounts. Wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to?
It's been 2 weeks, right? So I went to BSB, which is Big Strange Brew. My husband is in a homebrew club, and every year they have a huge party where people brew beer, there's lots of food, it's a fun day, and there's kids and parents, and then there's tents and tent trailers and RVs and beer,
And a pig.
And this year somebody roasted a whole pig. Oh, there was so much food. The guy who roasted the whole pig is Ukrainian, homemade pierogies.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm jealous.
Yeah, homemade pierogies, and there was a lot of them, and people were just bringing a bunch of food.
Wow.
So people were grilling up sausages, hamburgers, hot dogs in like the dozens. So there was just food everywhere. And at night, the first night, we just sat around a bunch of the campers and drank and shot the shit. And when I went to bed at midnight, I said shit twice. I went to bed at midnight on the Friday night, and this was on the 6th. And after I went to bed, the guitars came out, and the singing started. And I could hear my husband over everybody. Let's just say booze and him singing, not good. But it was
had a bit to drink at that point.
A lot of people had a bit to drink, and
I would have paid to see that.
Yeah, and then
you need to meet her husband to understand.
And then on the Saturday, everybody was brewing and coming. Like most of the people show up Saturday. There was about 20 of us on the Friday night, but a lot of people sleep over on the Saturday. So there was tents and trailers and everywhere. Saturday night we had a big bonfire, and I was up till about 2, and he had gone to bed early.
Boy, you had a much more exciting weekend than I did. I got to go to my nephew's 4th birthday party. Well, okay, technically we just had cake and dinner at my mom's. Sunday morning, I did my 5K walk for arthritis, which was awesome. Except it was, it wasn't in the morning. It was at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
I don't know who plans these things, but at 2 p.m., it's hot out.
Yeah. You would think they would plan it.
Well, I actually sent them an email afterwards suggesting that, maybe next year we plan it for first thing in the morning, because then it's not quite so hot. Because this one poor lady had heat stroke before we even got started. The paramedics had to cool her down with ice packs and stuff and send her home. So
because it was in the high 20s.
It was 32.
Oh, it was 32 Celsius.
It was 32
right?
and very humid.
Yeah.
Yes, 32 Celsius is about 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
See, here the humidity kills you.
Yeah.
You go to BC, it could be 32, but you go in the shade and you cool down. There's no humidity.
Yeah, I will give a caveat to that, though. Everybody told me that I was going to love Arizona when I went a few years ago because it's a dry heat. Yeah, dry heat my butt. It's still 120 degrees out.
Okay. That's a little, 30 degrees.
It doesn't get that hot in BC ever.
No, no. It got to 30 the summer I was there, which was,
wow.
Yeah.
It gets up to 40 here. That's the hottest it gets, which is 100F.
45 sometimes.
Well, yeah, but that's with the Humidex. It doesn't naturally get to 45.
No.
You have to add the humidity into that, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it was really hot, and even though I'd had about 5 or 6 bottles of water, so I was very well hydrated.
Was it a 5K?
It was a 5K.
Okay.
Well, it was a choice of a 1 or 5K. I did the 5 because really, what's the point of going out for a 1K? Mm-hmm. So I made it to $430. Yay!
That is awesome.
And the last person who donated, I don't know if she's a member of the group because I couldn't find her on Ravelry. Her name is Carolyn Hendricks. I don't know who she is. She's from Ottawa. So she either reads my blog or she watches the podcast. And if you watch the podcast, thank you very, very much because you got me over $400.
That's awesome.
And I was very excited. So I got a t-shirt. Oh, and the other thing was 32 degrees, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The t-shirts they gave us, navy blue.
That's right. I remember seeing that in the picture.
Yeah, I sent her a picture when I got back and I was purple. My face was purple. It was so hot. So I sent them an email suggesting that next year maybe we could have the race in the morning and not have dark t-shirts.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, the other thing is that it's at the Aviation Museum.
Yep.
Which is a big building in the middle
So
of nowhere.
Where do you walk to and then back?
You walk up the parkway and back. So you go 2.5 kilometers up the parkway, which is, it's closed in the mornings on Sundays in the summertime for the cyclists.
Did you get close to Rockcliffe Park?
No, we were walking the other way towards Orleans.
Oh, okay.
So we start right across from the RCMP stables, which is where all the horses are. If you're from Ottawa and you have ever driven the parkway, you know where all the horses are. So it's right there, and we walk 2.5 kilometers down the parkway and back. But there's no seating or anything around there. So they had 2 tents, one that was for the registration guys, all the volunteers and stuff, and the other one that was for the walkers. And there was seating for about 50 people. There were 320 of us.
Oh, and once you sat down, you weren't moving.
Well, the other thing is, I mean, a lot of the people who participate in this walk have arthritis. I know I do.
And they need to sit.
And a lot of people, you know, standing around for an hour and a half before you start walking really hurts.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're in pretty rough shape for the walk. But I did okay. It was very hot. It was.
You did it.
Yes, I did it, and I went to my mother's house, and I was exhausted, and I had a huge blister on my foot, and she tossed me into a cold shower, dried my clothes in the dryer because they were soaking wet.
Yeah.
And then we had my nephew's 4th birthday party, which was lots of fun too.
What's his name again?
Kale.
Kale. Yes.
Kale.
So my friend, do they spell it Kael?
No,
okay.
Cael.
Okay, my friends spell it Kael.
Well, at least he's not spelled like the vegetable.
No.
So we had a lot of fun, and 2 weeks I go to Chicago. Yay!
Yes.
So that's about all I got done. I've been trying to get my accounting homework.
I celebrated my birthday
This weekend. Yes, you did. Happy
On the
birthday.
5th of June, I celebrated my birthday. And my husband got me, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know, my husband got me the cube, you know, like this cube here.
The
from
companion
Portal,
cube.
the companion cube, for my Pandora bracelet.
It's very cute.
It is very cute. I don't have it on me. The kids got me, my daughter got me some pajama shorts, which I needed. And my son got me 2 CDs, and yes, one of them is Nickelback. I wore this just for you.
I don't hate Nickelback.
One of these days she's going to defriend me on Facebook because
No! Well, there is a meme going around that will tell you who to unfriend. It says, we'll tell you who to unfriend on your friends list. And then when you click on it, it's a list of all the friends that you have who have liked the group Nickelback on Facebook. It's kind of hilarious.
And I remember the day you came here to record and I was wearing Nickelback and you were just like, oh my.
I don't hate them. I really don't understand the hype. Why everybody hates on Nickelback, because they're not bad.
It's because they use machines for their, when they record. What are they called again?
Who doesn't? Auto-tune?
Auto-tune.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, so.
I hate to break it to you. Avril Lavigne uses it, Taylor Swift uses it.
I like
pretty
them
much
because,
everybody
first of all, they're Canadian, and Chad Kroeger is hot.
Well,
That's
have to agree to disagree on that one.
Opinion.
But I don't find them hot. But I do find them. There's some of their songs that I like. I'm not overly enamored of that style of music, but I know that a big thing was the fact that they sounded like other bands.
Yeah.
But there's like 10 or 11 bands who sound exactly the same, and they're one of them. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everybody loves to hate on Nickelback. I mean, it's not like they're Justin Bieber or anything.
Yeah, we sent him to the States. They can keep him. It's all yours.
What was it? Was it a hockey game? Oh yeah, it was during the Olympics.
It was like
if the U.S. beats Canada, we'll take them back, or if Canada beats the U.S., you have to keep them.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I think we won that exchange. So, so we have a foe. It's not an official foe yet, but it will be by the time.
We're calling it done.
I've started the decreases, and I realized that I just forgot to do them at the end of that row.
So
Rob's socks, I am in the decreases, the toe decreases, so it will be done by the time the podcast actually hits the airwaves.
Yep.
Because I'm in the toe decreases, and it will not take me long. When I started last week, I think I was about here.
You're in the home stretch.
Or 2 weeks ago, so I've done all this.
And now you're going to put fewer and fewer stitches on the needles.
Exactly.
And do you Kitchener stitch your...
I do Kitchener stitch my toes, and I'm...
You can do it in your sleep.
Able to do my Kitchener stitching by myself.
I still haven't done... I did one sock, and I remember Kari was here, we were in the basement, we were watching TV, and I had to go up and pick up my daughter at the mall. By the time I came back, she Kitchenered the second one. So I've done one sock, and you know what? Toe up is my way.
Yeah, it's a bit easier.
So the pattern is by who?
This is by nobody.
Well,
not really.
I based a recipe.
I based it off the Yarn Harlot's vanilla sock recipe from Knitting Rules, because I took her Rock the Sock class, and ever since I took that class, I don't need a pattern to knit socks. Mm-hmm. It's kind of awesome. If you ever do get the chance to take her class, do it.
Stephanie Pearl McPhee.
Yes, the Yarn Harlot, Stephanie Pearl McPhee, who, by the way, is gearing up for her her annual AIDS bike ride from Toronto to Montreal. Insane.
Yep, I'll be waving as she goes by.
So if you follow the Yarn Harlot's blog, hop on over there, donate to her campaign or anybody in her team.
I need to do that.
Yeah, because she gives away nifty stuff.
She has a link, right?
She has lots of links. Okay. There's, I think, 6 of them in her family who are participating.
Okay.
So hop on over there and check it out. It's yarnharlot.ca.
Okay. Cool.
I have no other foes. All yours.
I have no foes.
No, but you have whips.
I have whips, yeah, so I'll start with the whips. Let's find my pattern here. So you all know I'm knitting Tubularity.
It's so pretty.
By Martina Beam, and that's really washed out.
Yeah, it's really bright for some reason.
Yeah, maybe it's that light we have on, I don't know. You think I should turn it on?
Nah,
yeah. Anyways, by Martina Beam. And Miss Babs makes polydactyl kits. So you can buy the kit that has, here's 2 of them, little skeins. There's 133 yards each. These are
so cute.
These are 2 of the skeins, and the color way I chose is Coffee Break. And so here it is.
She's just zooming along on this thing.
Last week, 2 weeks ago, I was here. There's a stitch marker. Then on the Saturday of Big Strange Brew, which was last weekend, I was here.
Yeah, she's at a beer festival and she's sitting there knitting.
Yes. People were like, oh, isn't that cute?
And you're like, if only you knew, we do this everywhere.
I was just like, oh, and yeah, I was just like, whatever, you know.
Cute.
It's cute. So anyways, I've gotten a color and a half, and I'm on my 5th color now, and there's 7 colors in the pattern. So let me just try and hold it this way so you can see. So that's what it looks like. And it's a tube, so basically you can put it over your head like a big cowl, or there's going to be buttons strategically placed, and you can, there's a whole video.
Martina's actually done a YouTube video on all the different ways you can wear it. It's kind of nifty.
So it's on 3.5 millimeters, which is a US 4. It called for 3s. I did my first, I had started out in this gray, the oyster. And I didn't like it, it was too tight. So I ripped it out, started in a different color, and then joined.
Yeah, looking at it now, you wouldn't have been able to get it over your head.
Nope. No, not even close. Now I will. So that's what's on my needles. And also I've been knitting some socks. And I am doing 2 at a time for the first time. Yay! Aren't they beautiful?
They're really cute.
I started them last Saturday. So I'm using a shorter needle than most people use. I think I'm using a 32. Most people like to use a 40.
Yeah.
It was just too much cord. Like it was too much.
Yeah, there's a lot of cord tangled with the.
Yeah, like there's a lot of cord management when you're doing this, but once you have the hang of it, like the first little part was really fiddly, casting on the 2 of them.
See, I've never seen it done magic loop. I've only ever seen it done with 2 circs.
Yeah, I don't like knitting on 2 circs, but it works.
I don't blame you. I don't either.
So I'm halfway up the foot. This is for my daughter. She's a size 10. So these are, it's just the basic vanilla. I think I'm going to do ribbing around the leg for her this time. I've never done ribbing, and she was saying that they fall down.
They fall down, yeah.
So I'm going to do ribbing this time. And I'm probably going to try the 3x1. That's what you do, right?
3x2.
3x2. I'm going to try the 3x2 instead of the 2x2.
It works better on an even numbered.
Yeah, I have 64 stitches.
Oh, well, figure out what works best for the needles, because you don't want...
They're, so this is 3 Irish Girls Adorned Sock in the Second Star to the Right colorway. So it's just blues and lighter blues and specks of white. And it is on 2.75. I don't know what that is. What did I do with my needle gauge?
Is it a 2.5? You had it out. You made me use it.
I know. Oh, here it is. It's a 2.75 for her socks and my husband's socks. And my son's socks. So 2.75 is a 2.
Really?
But then 3 is a 2.
That
this is the
sense.
nitpicks.
Yeah, don't go by nitpicks.
Anyways,
2.25 is a 1.
Yeah.
And a 2.5
I'll
should be a 2.
they're 2.75 millimeters, so whatever that is in US, you guys can figure that out. So that's what I have going. So I've only got 2 projects. That is in the knotted bag. If you don't know Diane, who is Freedom for You and Ravelry, she has the knotted bag, an Etsy shop. Link it in the show notes. She makes these Japanese style knot bags and they're gorgeous. She has 4 different sizes now, I think, or 5. There's a smaller one. This is a sock one, but she has a smaller one than this.
Oh, okay.
She just started making them just to fit one ball of yarn and your sock.
There you go.
So yeah, she's got a shawl size, a sweater size.
She's got a market bag.
A market bag. I don't have my market bag out, also I would show it. So anyways, check her out. I'll leave it in the show notes.
One. And it's old and dirty.
And that's all I have on the needles.
Okay.
So, your turn.
Alright, well, since we were talking about the cow, were we?
The knit along.
I think we were talking about it before we started recording.
Yeah, before we started recording.
I have made some progress. Last time you guys saw this thing, it was just the garter stitch bit. Gorgeous. And I have now got this much of the border done. You can tell where I screwed up. And
there's a little hole there.
Because right here, the chain created by the knit through the back loop when you are attaching to the main shawl didn't get fixed. I tried 3 times. I couldn't get it right, so I don't care. It's the type of mistake that I can live with.
That's the thing. If you can live with it, it's fine.
I'm not going to give this to my mother after all because it's not something she could live with. She would take it apart and reknit it.
No.
So I won't give it to my mother after all, but I've got almost half the shawl's worth of...
it's gorgeous.
Well, I'm about 1/3 of the way.
Yep.
Because I've got 2/3 of the shawl left. So 1/3 of the way done in a week and a half. I'm pretty happy with it.
That's pretty good.
Especially since I had to go back. And, okay, now that I'm not in garter stitch hell anymore, I like it. And I might make another one.
That says something if she might make another one.
I'll just ask you all to remind me when I'm going through garter stitch hill again that I like it. So
once you get to the border, you loves it.
So that is out of Elizabeth Lavold Bamboo, which is 80% bamboo and 20% wool. It is the softest, most gorgeous stuff. It's splitty as hell, but it's fantastic to knit with. And I have lots more because I have some purple.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to use all the green because I only used 2 balls out of the 6 to do the body, so it's probably only going to take me 2 to do the border.
Okay.
So I'll have more left.
Nice.
We'll see what happens. I've also, once the toe is Kitchenered shut on the sock, we are getting back to the flax sweater. This is a sweater for my son. We'll see if it remains for my son. He's on my list right now. So this is the flax sweater by Tin Can Knits, and this is a brilliant pattern. It's a freebie on Rav. All her patterns are brilliant, but this one is especially fun because she has modified the pattern for men, women. There's bust shaping for the women and hip shaping, I think. Children and babies. So you could make this same sweater
for anybody,
for the whole family, off one pattern, and it is fantastic. It's really easy. And
I like that it's got pearls on the shoulders.
Yeah, the all down the arm, there's this garter stitch ridge that goes all the way down the arm, and it goes down the body too.
Yeah.
So it breaks up the monotony of making a stockinette sweater and adds a little bit of interest visually. So I really like this pattern. It's really fun.
Good.
And this is made out of Patons Canadiana.
It's a beautiful chocolate brown.
Yes,
beautiful.
It is really, really pretty brown.
It's quite soft.
The boy had originally asked for... He'd asked for some shade of blue, and they didn't have any in Ackers when I actually drove out to Smiths Falls to get the yarn for this. That's about 3/4 of an hour, 45 minutes.
I still haven't been. And I haven't been to Merrickville either. So.
Yeah, it's not that much. It's a yarn store, but
yeah.
I mean, I go for the nostalgia because this was my favorite yarn store when they were in Ottawa.
Yeah, we love that.
And I go because they carry Juliana's fiber. And if I'm not going to buy directly from Juliana, like every now and then she'll send stuff to the shop that won't go in her Etsy shop. So I'll go to the store once in a while to see what they have. Last time I was a bit disappointed because everything they had of hers had alpaca in it, so I couldn't have any. But so that's why I go to Knit Knackers, is because they carry Juliana's stuff and turtle pearls.
Yeah,
which is hard to find elsewhere. So
yeah,
although I think Wabi Sabi carries turtle pearls.
I think they do.
Nobody carries Anna anymore. We can only get it on her Etsy shop. Boo. It's hard to get. So we mentioned Sue's birthday. Her birthday present will not be arriving until Monday, sadly. So you all don't get to see it until maybe next weekend.
It's all good.
But and this is on size 8 needles, 5mm.
Yes, we wrote it down.
We wrote it down, and I'm just like, woo, 50 different subjects at once. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Cool.
And that's it.
Okay. So other things.
You have no stash. Well, okay, you do have stash enhancement, but you don't have your birthday stash enhancement because it will be arriving shortly.
Well, I bought myself enough stuff to make up for it. I'm calling it my birthday month.
Yeah.
So we have the knit along going right now. It started May 1st, ends June 30th.
Yes.
Or is it 30 days in June?
30th, yes.
Okay, ends on the 30th, so I'll lock the thread. There are 2 threads. One's a chatter thread. You can talk about it, post whatever you want in that thread. The second one is an FO, so there's no chatter, just post one picture of your shawl. If you've knit 2 shawls or 3 shawls, put them all in the same post, because it's one post per person. Another rule is it has to be started May 1st, no earlier. And I messaged a few people today because I checked all the projects that were in the FO thread, and there were 3 people who started before May 1st. You know what? Change the date to May 1st, you'll qualify. That's the only caveat. I'm sorry, but if I pick your name and I look at your project and you haven't started on May 1st, I'm going to pick another name, because that was one of the rules.
Or after May 1st.
Or after May 1st, but it can't be before. So that's, sorry, those are the rules. They were set before we started, and I'm a little bit of a stickler to the rules. We have some great prizes. There's a set of my handmade snagless
How to sip.
Snuffleupagus snagless stitch markers. There is a pattern from, she's called Knit Designs, who is Tian. It's called the Mash Piece Shawlette that she just published recently. She's offered to give a free copy to one of the winners. There is a bag from the Knotted Bag. There's a picture of it in the chatter thread. It's got brown polka dots on it, I think.
Yes.
And there's a skein of yarn from my stash, which is this bubblegum pink, is what I call it.
Actually really, Sky was like, oh, mommy, I want it.
It's called Cattail Knits. It's Itty Bitty Sock in the Pamelicious colorway. It was a True Blood Club, and it's 50/50 superwash merino and tencel and 385 yards. So. And
I looked it up, and it's the tencel that makes it look bigger than a sock yarn.
Okay, it's puffy.
Tencel is poofy.
Yeah.
So
there's that. I also started a thread a couple weeks ago. I want to know if anybody's interested in doing a swap for the summer. It might be in July, it might be in August, but there's only about 3 or 4 people who've replied. So if you're interested in doing a swap, go to our Ravelry group, and there is a thread going on. I want ideas on what kind of swap. So
y'all are on your own with that, because I don't do swaps. I'm bad at mailing.
If I don't get at least 10 people, it's not going to be worth it. I mean, you know.
I'm really bad at mailing stuff on time and working on a deadline, so I just don't participate.
So there's that. If you have ideas what kind of swaps and stuff, and Crystal, who is Chris5797, wrote a post on how swaps work. So if you're interested, somebody was curious, she wrote a huge paragraph on how swaps work. So do you want to do the giveaway first or stash enhancements?
You might as well do your stash enhancements.
Okay.
We'll keep the fun for later.
I got a lot of stuff.
She did. She kind of went on a shopping spree.
I did.
She kept messaging me going, I bought this. Oh, I bought this.
And guess what? Instagram is instigator, because half of my stuff came because I saw it on Instagram. Damn it. So one of the things I bought is, it's for cross stitching, and it's for an 8-inch hoop. So it's a bag that when you're cross stitching, and
I suppose now would be a bad time to mention that Bittersweet Woolery now has project bags.
Great. Just great. So it's to hold your project, your cross stitch project, so it's flat and square, and so it can fit up to an 8-inch. And this is made by Girl Cave Bags, who is girlcavebags.etsy.com. Very well made, and it's kind of a rigid fabric, which is kind of good if you're going to be putting a cross stitch project in it. So that's one thing.
I cross stitch. I used to.
I have 2 cross stitch patterns I haven't started yet.
Really?
I'm kind of like don't know where to start.
Oh, well, I can help you with that. I cross stitched for years before I took up knitting. I actually stopped cross stitching because it was less practical than knitting.
I'm just interested in doing some little projects, and
yeah.
I bought a couple of patterns from Emily's sister, who is Wee Little Stitches.
Okay.
And they're Star Wars related, so I want to make them for my husband eventually. But I went to Walmart, and then I went to Michael's, and I bought 2 simple little projects to start me off with, so I can
help you with that.
That'd be awesome, because I don't know how to start. My friend Kathy, I never see her, and she's a major cross stitcher too.
Actually, what got me to quit cross stitching altogether was I took it up again when my brother and his wife were getting married. Their wedding invitations had butterflies and dragonflies on them. And so I found this book, this leaflet, that had patterns of butterflies and dragonflies on plants. So I picked one of the butterflies that looked like the one they stamped on their invitations. I know what they stamped on their invitations because I helped make them. Mm-hmm. And one was the dragonfly. And so I started making these, and the day before the wedding, I was feverishly working on the second one to finish it. And my sister-in-law went totally bridezilla.
Oh no.
And then my brother kind of went totally bridezilla, and I stopped working on it then and there, and I haven't touched it since. And my mother was really, she was like, oh, you need to finish it. And I was like, no, you know what, I really don't. So I've never finished it, and I've never cross-stitched since. Just because I find my finished product to be more practical when I'm knitting. Mm-hmm. When I'm cross-stitching, yeah, it's pretty, but what do you do with it?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I get that. I just want to try it.
Yeah, it is fun. I really enjoyed it, but I gave away most of my stuff. Kit's daughter actually inherited most of my cross-stitching stuff.
Okay.
Because she cross-stitches, so it went to a good home.
That's good.
And some of it's going to go to my, weirdly enough, my ex-boyfriend in England who also cross-stitches. It's a little bit of a weird situation, but there we are.
Cool. So next,
yarn.
No
more bags? Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a few bags. This was sent to me for free by, her name is Jen Study on Instagram. She hasn't opened her shop yet, but she's going to. And I've just been supporting her. And so she asked if she could send me a bag. So she stalked me on Ravelry, so it's got butterflies and it's green. And her shop, when she opens it, is going to be called Sweet Stitches. Seweet.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's got a little butterfly. You can unclip this little...
And it's a stitch marker.
It's a stitch marker. It's cute. So it's really well made. And
I like the fact that there's a bottom on the bag.
Yeah, there's an actual bottom, so it
will stand up.
Stands up. So there's that. That's what my tubularity is living in.
I suppose I shouldn't mock you for your bag problem, because I've got 3 plastic bags surrounding me right now with all my projects in them. I have grocery bags. And
next thing is, she's called awesomegranny.etsy.com. So bags by Awesome Granny. She sent me 2 samples from her shop just because she wanted to. It's huge. So I went on her shop and I picked one out. It's a set.
You know what would fit in there? Sean's sweater.
Exactly what I was thinking.
How's Sean's sweater doing?
Sean's sweater's down there, and it's going to be picked up when I'm done
Okay.
one of the 2 projects that are on my needles.
Good girl.
So, yeah, it's huge. Huge, huge, huge. And it's got a nice handle on this side, and it's got a hoop on this side that you could probably attach stitch markers to. It came with this smaller bag. Isn't that cute? And she also, I think it could go on keys or something.
It's bagception. There's more bags inside.
Yeah, it's got a little clip on it, but it's like,
sorry, it came in a little bag.
It's cute.
Little keychain thing?
Yeah, it looks like a keychain thing. So it's awesome. So I will link her shop in the show notes. She has some really nice bags, and they're really well made. So thank you very much for sending that to me.
Okay, it's a flower. I thought it was a little pig.
It's just, yeah, I had a hard time picking which ones I wanted. So there's that. Kirby Werby has got me to jump on the 9-inch circular needles for socks bandwagon.
Oh boy.
So my next pair of socks that go on the needles, I'm going to be using these tiny, tiny 9-inch needles.
Yeah, you're on your own with that.
Yeah, so I've got the 2 sizes that I use most for socks.
Awesome.
I'll actually take it out of the bag so people can see it. So,
did we see her at Maryland?
Maryland? No, we saw Vanessa.
Right.
So that's it. So she actually said to me, if you can't figure it out, I'll be at Rhinebeck. We'll sit on a bench together and we'll get going. So I'm like, I'm finding you because I will be
we will be at Rhinebeck.
Yeah. And I have to figure out if I have to cast on using other needles and then pick it up. I think I probably will, because I can't see myself doing a figure 8 cast on with these tiny needles.
And I think I'm going to be Vince and Sue's new, but no, I think you're going to have to do top down for that.
You think so?
I think so. I don't know, maybe you can start doing magic loop. Or not magic loop, but the 2 circs to start, and then once you've got enough stitches, move on to 1.
Yeah, we'll see. So I got it in 2.5 millimeters, which is US 1.5, and 2.75 millimeters, which is US 2.
Ha! Told ya.
It is 2 on there. Yeah, it's 2.
Oh, okay. No, I said 2.5. I'm sorry. I'll shut up now.
So that's that. Then I got an update from Unwind Yarn Company, who is Dana. And I've been wanting to do color work for a long time. So I got a Fair Isle kit.
Not her. My projects were
really bright. So I got a Fair Isle kit in green and white. So I'm going to, I bought a Craftsy class. So I'm going to learn how to do color work. Next.
I'm telling you, she's been shopping.
Yeah. Desert Vista Dye Works. This is a self-striping yarn. It's called Zombies Walking on the Sun.
That's very similar to the one I got you.
Oh,
except that one has more green.
So it's got orange, yellow, gray, green, speckles.
See, I knew you'd like.
So that's that. Oh, too much yarn. Then, these are Instagram. Okay? Then I got Undead Yarn from, it's the Undead Yarn. It's called Experimental Roadkill. So
attractive.
Yeah, the name just got me. She also has a podcast. So if you ever want to look at her, it's Undead Yarn podcast, I think, on.
And there's a little button.
Yeah, there's a little button on Ravelry. Dana also has a podcast. It's called Just One More Row, and it's an audio podcast. So if you're interested in that. And then the other thing I have is I went to Bling Your String because of the Knit Girls, and they have all kinds of beautiful stitch markers, but they have what they call stitch buddies. And they're these little sheep. I don't know if you can see them. They're little sheep with like a...
Yeah, the little sheep was up in the corner.
Yeah, sorry. They're little sheep with these little clips, so you can just attach them to your project. I have one on my tubularity right now. And yeah, so I bought a couple of those.
I walk in and she's like, look at my sheep, look at my sheep.
It's so cute, it's so cute. I think that's it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
She will have further stash enhancement on Monday. Well, probably not until next Saturday because I don't generally see you during the week. But I caught the Penguin Soup shop update.
I specifically did not go, so I would not catch it.
But then you went and had a birthday, so that works. Yeah, that's better for stash enhancement.
I'll link all these shops in the show notes. And speaking of show notes, 2 weeks ago, the last episode. I didn't put any up. So I'm going to try and get...
podcaster.
I know. I just... so something else I want to show is one of my FOs from last time's been blocked.
Yes. And it looks so much nicer.
And it's still
I will point out, though, that she still hasn't woven the ends in.
Hey, I blocked it. Come on. So I soaked it.
It looks awesome.
In some soak. So now I made sure the leaves would be... I pulled them out so that you could see them.
Yes.
And if you don't remember from the last podcast, this is art by Anna, Dream and DK. And...
even the color difference isn't that obvious anymore now that you've washed it. It's the other end.
Is it this end? Yeah,
it's not quite as obvious.
You can't even see it on camera. Oh, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, but... So I just wanted it to be able to wrap around my neck.
Perfect.
So it does that. And it's so soft. All right, giveaway time.
I'm doing this wrong.
I need to pull out the laptop.
You do.
We're going to show what the giveaways are.
Oh, it's so much work.
So because we've hit 700 members, and thank you for everybody who's joined to make us hit 700 members. We kept going up and down.
We were at $6.99, and then we were at 700, and then we were at $6.98, and then we were at $7.01, and it just kept...
It was just weird.
Somebody was messing with us.
Yeah.
I swear. So show yours.
So this is yarn that I've had in my stash for a really long time.
Back there.
It's Knit Picks Memories. 100% merino wool, and it's called the S'mores colorway.
It's really
got
pretty.
220 yards each, so I figure I'm going to give both of them away because why one and not the other?
It's actually very, very, very similar colorway to her coffee break.
Yes, it is. But I've had it forever, and I'm not going to use it. So that's prize number one.
It's really pretty and really squishy. It's so soft.
Yep. And then Lynn brought over 2 skeins.
This is Nitty in Color.
Sparkles.
Oh my god, look at the blue pops on the screen.
Oh yeah, has it ever popped?
That's awesome.
It's gorgeous.
It is the Starry Night colorway in her Superwash Merino Nylon and Stellina base, which is 75% Merino, 20% Nylon, and 5% Stellina. That's the sparkly. I bought it to make the bigger on the inside shawl.
Yep.
That Kari had made. Kari didn't tell me till after I bought the yarn that it took her more than one skein to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And by then it was too late, because she dyed this because I asked her to. I feel really bad now. I really wanted to make the shawl, but quite frankly, I'm not so enamored of knitting the shawl that I want to order another skein of it, especially since she sold out of this and would have to dye it again. And
yeah, because didn't she dye it?
Yeah, she dyed it like the night before. When we got to Stitches last year, you could still smell the vinegar on it. It was that fresh. Because she had just dyed them before she left. And it was awesome. And it's beautiful stuff. But you know what? I'm not big on sparkly.
Yep.
And I think there was a little bit of peer pressure. I was really into the whole Doctor Who thing. I still am. But I mean... Kari had just finished hers, and it was like, woo! And I was like, yay, Doctor Who, I need to do one. And now I'm not so much enamored of the idea of doing one. So it's not a big deal. So I figured I would send it to a home that would really appreciate it. And it is really, really, really soft and sparkly and fantastic. And you can see how fantastic the colors are. I love this stuff. It's so pretty. If it didn't have sparkles, I'd be all over it.
I think I need to download like an app or something.
So that's 2. Yeah, because Kari usually did, didn't she?
Yeah.
And the third thing that we're going to give away, also from my stash. You can tell what this is, right? This is a Krause Zauberball. I believe it's in fingering. I don't know. I can't read the labels in German.
Yeah, it's fingering.
It's fingering. It's an olivey khaki green combination with brown and stuff, and it's actually really nice. I bought it because everybody was always like, "Oh my god, I need a Zauberball. I've always wanted to knit with one." And I was like, they were on sale one day. Janie was having a sale.
I have one. I haven't used it yet.
And I was like, "Oh my god, they're an amazing price. I must have one." And when I got it home, I was like, "And now what am I going to do with it?" I have no plans for this skein. It's pretty. I like the fact that the individual, like it's 2 colors twisted together.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That's kind of neat, but to be honest, I had no idea what I was going to do with it, so I figured, why not?
So 3 prizes.
Yes.
So I found a random number generator.
Woo-hoo.
I've put in 1 to 700. You probably can't see that on the screen.
No, likely not.
Likely not. So the first number, and I'm using the list of members according to when you join the group. So there's 700. I have a spreadsheet open.
Minus the 3 of us.
Yeah, well, if we pick the 3 of us, I'm in the middle somewhere, like at 400, because I left the group a couple
She
times
keeps
by
quitting.
accident. It's on my phone.
Yeah.
So generate. The first number is 130. So member number 130 is
Tonky?
no.
No, that's 129. I'm
Right
sorry.
here.
Linehar.
This one. Linehar. Linehar.
See, I was looking at that number. Not
Yeah,
that.
no. Who is
Sorry.
Lynn? So I need to
Not
write,
me.
need to write that down. You're gonna win
The s'mores.
the s'mores. So that is Linehar. I will send you a
So maybe it's Linhar.
I will
Sorry.
send you a Ravelry message to let you know that you've won.
If anybody was going to mispronounce it, it was going to be me.
Okay, now what happened? Okay, so I need to generate another one. So generate 53. So let's go see who number 53 is.
Whoa,
Whoa, I
went
went
down
too far.
really fast. Whoa.
Simon Amalone.
Simon A. Maloney.
So it's Simona. Simona
Oh,
Maloney.
Simona Maloney.
Because
Okay.
the first name's written.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
Simona Maloney.
This is why you don't get me to do
You will
stuff
get
like
the
this.
sparkly yarn.
Yay. This is coming home to you.
And one, my phone keeps going off. One more generate.
You've
So
got your,
265. Who is Monkey's Mom 1, who is Marianne. So let's write that down.
And you get the Zebra ball. Sorry, I'm looking down because I'm
Monkeys.
decreasing.
Mom 1. So you get the Zarbal ball. So please PM me your address, and I will get those out to you this week. I will actually send a PM to the winners so that you know who you are. And thank you everybody for joining the group and making us hit 700. The next draw will be at 800. Which
Tell your friends.
tell your friends. I'd like to thank Little Shellfish
Yes, we
because
got
she
the-
recommended quite a few people to the group. I did invite.
She pushed us over the 400, the 700.
Yes, she pushed us over the 700. So that's it. So happy knitting, crocheting, everything crafty. Oh, and also today, I forgot to mention, is Worldwide Knit in Public Day.
Ah! Nobody planned anything for the Ottawa group.
Would you like to know who told me?
Who?
My husband. Because he was talking to my friend Kathy that he works with.
That's true. It's usually June 20th.
Well, he said it was today.
It might be the event day. 'Cause
Maybe,
June
I'm not
20th
sure.
is midweek, but
I'm
it's
like-
usually June 20th.
One day a year, I'm knitting in public all the time. So
Yeah.
I don't need one day to celebrate.
My,
So,
my doctor's office has gotten used to me now.
yeah, I get the receptionist.
David will call me back to see the doctor, and I'm like,
doctor's
just
name?
finishing my row. Dr. Parbaker.
Oh, okay.
I'm in
Yeah,
those
there's
corners.
there's a lady who is they rotate receptionists at our doctor's office, and she's like, "What are you knitting?" And she's like, "Yeah, I always have a project on the go." So it's just cool.
He knows that I need to finish my row before I go back to see the doctor.
Well, yeah, there are rules in knitting. Anyways, so that's it for this week, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.